Listen up, Bratan. You think communism in Eastern Europe fell because of some fancy protests? Or maybe the CIA spreading freedom like a chef with no training, just throwing ingredients and hoping for democracy? Nah, the real reason: no bread, no circuses. When the people are not fed and not entertained, they start thinking, and when they start thinking, boom, game over. Back in the old Roman days, the emperors knew how to keep people in check. Throw them some food, throw them a good show, and boom, no revolts. But when the circus tent falls and the bread runs out, that's when the knives come out. And let me tell you, my friend, in the USSR and its little comrades in Eastern Europe, both the bread and the circuses were a joke. First, the bread, or rather the lack of it. See, in the West, if you've got money, you got what you want. Simple. But under communism, the big guys at the top decide how much food, clothes and cars get made. The problem? They suck at it. People spend more time waiting in line than actually eating. Want some meat? Maybe next month, if the stars align. Sugar? Only if you knew a guy who knows another guy. And even then, it costs favors, not money. Toilet paper was so rare that people were reading the newspaper twice. Once for propaganda and once for wiping. And Romania? Oh boy, Ceausescu was so obsessed with paying the country's debt that he turned the entire nation in a crash diet experiment. Except no one signed up for it. While food was being shipped abroad, Romanians were left rationing every scrap. That's not leadership, that's a hostage situation. Then there were the cars. Oh, the beautiful garbage cars. Ever heard of the Trabant? Imagine waiting 10 years to get a car. And when you finally get it, it's a cardboard death trap with the power of a lawn mower. Meanwhile, in the West, people were cruising in Mustangs and Mercedes. Think that didn't piss people off? But what about housing? Concrete nightmares with no soul, no heating and enough cockroaches to start a zoo. They called it a workers' paradise, but the workers were just trying to survive. You can't sell people a dream when reality looks like a prison. Alright, so people are not eating good, but at least they had entertainment, right? Wrong. See, in the West you got rock concerts, flashy movies and late-night talk shows, but behind the Iron Curtain it was all propaganda all the time. You turn on the TV and it's the same boring speech about how great the party is. Yeah, real fun. Meanwhile, the West had the Beatles, Queen and action movies with guys blowing stuff up. In Eastern Germany, listening to the wrong music could get you a visit from the secret police. Over in the USSR, people had to smuggle American records just to hear something that didn't sound like a funeral march. Books? Forget about it. If a writer didn't toe to the party's line, they either disappeared or got their work buried. Sports, yeah, the Soviets loved showing off at the Olympics. But back home, regular folks had to settle up for state-run entertainment. No excitement, no fun, just a lot of gray. And don't even get me started on the movies. Ever watch a Soviet sci-fi flick? Exactly. It might be deep and profound, but people wanted escape. They wanted action, something with heart, but all they got was more party propaganda. So what did they do? They started looking west. Black market VHS tapes, secret radio broadcasts. If you had the right connections, you could get a taste of the good life. And once people knew what they were missing, they wanted out. See, circuses don't mean actual clowns. It means distraction. Netflix, TikTok, football games. The Romans had gladiators. The West had MTV. The Soviets, they had choreographed parades and speeches that could bore even a stone. My older brother knew a guy who sold Beatles tapes out of a shoebox in the back of his Lada. Made more money than a factory manager, until the secret police caught wind. Then he disappeared faster than a Soviet 5-year plan. And that's how it all fell apart. Not because of some grand revolution, but because the system failed at the basics. They couldn't keep the people fed. They couldn't keep people entertained. And when that happens, people start asking questions. Ask yourself, Bratan, if you were hungry, cold, and bored out of your skull, how long before you stop clapping for the guys in charge? So what's the lesson here, Bratan? Simple. If you wanna keep people under control, you better make sure they are fed and distracted. No bread, no circuses, no power. And in the end, that's why communism in Eastern Europe crumbled. Not because of democracy, not because of capitalism, but because the bosses at the top forgot the golden rule. Always keep the people happy enough not to burn everything down. Alright, Bratan, that was the lesson for today. For friends and Bratans, my name is Andriushka. Please subscribe. You can watch my next video about communism.